Hide behind this ivory wall, reaching to a vacant hall. Just because it glitters so it doesn't mean it's made of gold. And every now and then it falls in place, the destiny awaits. Nine ways to be won, nine ways to the soul.
Good morning, friends.
Who are those young whippersnappers?
Oh, they're so young. Remember when I had hair? Do you remember?
Remember what I was gonna go dark.
Oh my goodness. It's actually not me singing. That is the beautiful voice of Johnny in the intro, which
That's
is
true.
a song that was originally recorded for his album Radiate that didn't make the cut. We're
It
gonna
didn't.
have all sorts of gems just like that in Creator's Corner. That's what it's all about. Johnny, are you ready for this? You've been
I
away
don't know,
this
am
weekend.
I?
I've been busy. It's new title time. Look, you've
Ooh,
got your
that's
little
nice.
logo.
I got my own little logo, and you went with my orange
Yes,
color.
I needed a little more
motif.
orange on this side of the screen. It's all about balance.
It is.
So good to see so many of you here. Honestly, this is a theme we weren't sure anyone was going to care about. So, and you might not. You'll find out very soon if the numbers go down. Then we'll know for sure if that's the case.
But hey, straight from the horse's mouth. This is stuff that we've created, and you get a little bit of background story of how we created some of these things. You get a little more background into our friendship and
Yes.
Putting the pieces together.
Yes, it's gonna be quite the journey, and we're gonna do this right now for the first Monday of every month. So we're not doing any requests. This is all pre-selected music. It is songs from my past, from Johnny's past, and current collaborators and students and whatnot that we're working with. That's the focus for today. And we're starting with a doozy. I honestly don't know if I can sit through this first video or not. I don't
Is this
know.
the one? Is this the video?
It's the video. I have not watched this. It's 25 years. Let me put perspective. The last time I tried to watch it was while I was dating my wife, so I went to show her, and I left the room with the thought, if she gets through this, we're gonna make it.
And she didn't leave the room, so that was key.
That's how bad the first video is. But before
I love Young Richard. Young Richard's my favorite. Yes, before we get going, if you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe, ring that bell so you can keep up to date with what's going on in our lives.
Yes.
Such as today. This is
new
about as up to date as
adventure.
you can get.
And as always, if you don't mind clicking on the link below, in the description, there's a link to buy us a coffee, help support the page, and podcast adventures just like this one. And you can get exclusive access if you become a Thronely member to our Sunday Shorts. You just launched a new format last yesterday. That was actually a lot of fun to do it that way. So we're going to do that moving forward as well.
Yes.
All right. Guys.
I haven't seen this either, and I don't know how long, probably. It's been decades. And your mom's here for this.
Oh, God.
Rightfully
Okay.
so. Well, she was there for it.
We're going back to 1995. At this point, I've been singing for about a year and a half. I discovered singing in my senior year of high school and songwriting at the same time. And I started writing songs. Immediately, I recorded a whole album because, unlike Johnny, I thought if I write it, the world must want to hear it. And Johnny's like, I wrote a bunch of songs. Let's pick the best ones before they go out. He's much more reasonable than I ever was. So I recorded a full album, and then I did an EP 6 months later. So it's like a year and a half of singing and songwriting. I'm done with my spiel of excuses. Please stick around for a later song in today's episode where I have an opportunity to redeem my singing. I never thought this would see the light of day. This is pre-internet. This is
pre-me, really. I mean, you've known me my whole life, literally, but this is before we started hanging out and working together. So
yes. So this is 2.5 years before John and I started working together.
So I deny all involvement is what I'm saying. I'm saying.
I don't want to hit play. I don't want to do it.
Just do it. Just do it.
The band is called Tear. With its logo we talked about once before. The song is called When Angels Cry.
You drew that too, right? Yep.
It's so dramatic.
Do you need me?
Of course I do. I can't watch.
I think you do.
Love is like darkness, an endless path with no guide. You find your way there, living life blind, and I cannot.
This is 19-year-old me.
Yep.
Love is like falling, never wanting.
Exciting.
It's definitely 90s. Dramatic.
Relaxed in midair.
Inspired by the 80s silk shirt, jeans, and cowboy boots. Every rock star needs to own. My friend Steve taught me the sign. This is when I was learning a little bit of sign because of my deafness. This is before autotune was invented. So you don't have to worry
It
about
sounds
that.
good, though. I do like that aspect of it.
There's never enough vibrato with 19-year-old
Much
Richard.
vibrato. There's the castle.
Yeah, there's Dad's castle. The actress name is Dawn.
Yep.
Kenny G. Well, look at the effects. State of the art.
Whoa.
Where did I go?
Like teardrops, letting go of the pain. It's too hard to hold back.
Thanks, Mom.
When I'm crying, love is like fire dancing into the wind.
The flames.
Hey, at that time, that was realistic. This was released on VHS, by the way. This is pre-DVD. Oh my god. What am I doing? Why?
I'm so glad you did, though. That's the meatloaf.
Oh, so much Meatloaf. I told you guys my Meatloaf was in musical theater was my influence. The naughty scene.
Uh-oh.
All of that was on unnecessary.
I like the pixelated video too.
All right, I do want to point out something. 19-year-old me thought I was on the verge of worldwide stardom. And this was the song that was gonna break it. And here I am in a white dress shirt, jeans, and cowboy boots, walking across the crenellation of a 2-story castle. Because I was willing to die. I was putting my life on the line to create a video that would change the course of life. I had no fear of heights, that's for sure.
Like heaven, a place where I never
The makeup's good at least.
until I look in your eyes.
Can't believe we just... That's never been... I've gone... Since the advent of the internet, I've gone without this having to be visible for the public. I can't believe we just did this.
You got
So
me to
Johnny,
cry in the show.
What's your assessment?
Well, let's talk about the positives.
And now the negatives.
First of all, okay. Let's look at the song. So my piano's not plugged in. Hold on 1 second. Can you put Kitty up for 1 second?
Sure.
Okay.
Save us, Shirley. Give us something to look at.
Like a blaze of fire dancing in the cool. Oh, like the rhythm of the
I'm gonna pretend that's not true, Brigitte. I'm pretending that this is only live once, and then it goes away.
Okay.
All right, Johnny.
All right. So the song itself.
It's a good melody, right?
It is. And we've actually played that song at a couple weddings because it works really well. Good. I mean, the lyrics are great. Melody has got a simple beauty to it. Good power in the vocals. A lot of vibrato, yes. Right.
Very theatrical.
You
This is
toned
how
it
I
down.
sing everything.
Yeah. But as you said, it was kind of rooted in sort of an insecurity with like hearing pitch. So if you don't hit
100%.
the pitch, then you're never wrong. If you don't ever hit the pitch.
And it wasn't until later on when Jai and I were working that we were working on something specific. We wanted more of a straight tone approach to some things that I was singing. And that's when it just the reality check of like, oh, I can't. like I avoided developing that. And so it took a lot of work for me to actually hone in on intonation because I overcompensated for so many years.
Right. So that's definitely one good aspect. Another good aspect, and this is always one of the main draws to you, was whatever you do, you go for it.
I was going to say.
It's like you jump in and listen, nobody was doing that. Nobody was. they weren't doing that.
Should have been doing that.
What I meant was nobody will, especially in our small town that we grew up in. I mean, nobody had that sense of vision, that sense of forward thinking. And yes, did you need a few years to work out the kinks with what that vision? Yes.
Perhaps.
But the courage and the bravery to just freaking go for it and follow your vision and your passion, and you eventually obviously found your way. And I mean,
Took a while.
see, I'm lucky that I'm not like that because
That's why we compliment each other so well.
yes.
Johnny
I'm
always took the
fortunate
background
that
and said, "We're gonna let's see what Richard does with this one. I'm just gonna
Yes,
hang in the
exactly.
background playing the piano."
Yeah, I didn't jump first. I've never been a jump first kind of guy.
Oh,
But I
my
love
goodness.
that you were, so there's that. And last positive thing, your eyes are just popping in that, just popping. The whatever mascara you used was really complimentary.
You deserve a freeze for that. My mascara was beautifully placed. Oh my! You never even got to see how nice my nails were in the video. There was no good close-ups.
Yeah, but it's just like nobody else had that vision. Like that's something that you've always
Yeah,
had.
because there was no studio. You couldn't record at home, right? So it's like I had to save up money to
Yeah.
mom's here, borrow money, and go and actually record it and then put the music video together and everything. It was a different era of risk, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Whew.
Oh
All right.
God, I love that so much.
We need to
And
move on.
For all the people in the chat and the who's going to watch later that always wants me to cry during these shows, and I'm always very stoic.
That's all you needed.
You got it. You're
Well, good news for you is I have lots of footage of me doing other things back in my past. So this is going to be a treasure trove for sure.
Yes, exactly.
All right, moving on. So now we're jumping to, this is a song called Partial. Many of you might already know Johnny has an album, Radiate, which we always link to in our descriptions. That's available. And his Missing Pieces, you normally hear a clip of that song in our intro. Today was a song that was cut from that, and we'll probably check that out in a future episode. But this is an EP called...
Released in 2003, right?
I think it was 2003. It was called Copacetic. And I had produced this. Johnny wrote all the music and lyrics to this one. I think I produced it, right? That was it. I don't think I did any co-writes on this one. I know not
Yeah,
the song
you
Partial, but I
produced
think the whole EP was all Johnny. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this
And
is
that's me in-
2003 Johnny.
Yeah, is that picture of me when I was like, what, 24 or something?
Maybe.
Something like that. A few less gray hairs.
Beautiful. And I took the
Yeah.
photo too, for the record.
Yeah.
It's a beauty easy to capture.
You sit there wide awake again.
Unfortunately, there's no music video here.
I haven't heard this in a long time.
Suppress that long the truth you never fed. I'm all the while succumb to watch you bleed. You scream, but you never tried to leave. Your conscience lingers low as you kill yourself, leaving all
catching this up.
Your conscience lingers low. You kill yourself, breathing on to me. And
Right.
Break out here.
don't cup your hands too late and see your partial hands, partial eyes.
Oh, young Johnny.
There's the last line too, is there? Oh, there isn't. I thought it went back to the verse for a second there. Just imagining that.
So a couple of the comments, you hit it right on the head. So somebody mentioned Visa mentioned
Yep.
Silverchair,
and
and somebody
Radiohead.
else mentioned Radiohead. Those were my two
Yes.
huge influences. This is like 2003.
Mm-hmm.
I was in college. It's kind of like around the jazz guys, like the jazz band people. So I got exposed to a lot of cool different stuff. So definitely huge influences there with those two bands.
Yeah. So the name of the song is Partial, and I
Yeah.
want to jump in. And so we'd released this on, this is the MySpace era, right? So we'd been working with some other artists that we'd been putting on there, and we're getting a lot of attention there. And we're just this is in the middle of transitioning between a band that we haven't heard yet, Richard IV, under my name, that was progressive metal. And then Johnny was working on his solo thing, and this was in between another project, which is Scattered Ink, that we're going to listen to in a minute, where we collaborated. And this song got a lot of attention. Even got there was A&R, A&R from Atlantic. Records.
Yeah.
Yep. Reached out to Johnny, and you guys met in New York City, things like that. There was a lot of talk and discussion, and that's really fueled the flame, I think, more for you to do more solo stuff and write your own music and everything else. That was your first like really big attention. And it was this song in particular from those 4 that were released at the time that really grabbed his attention.
Yeah, that was some of my first writing too, really. I mean, I wrote
Yeah.
a couple songs before that, but that was like the first foray into writing. And, I can personally hear the youth in it.
For sure.
Which, as we've
love-
talked about it with other artists, it's kind of cool, that sort of raw, sort of naivete infused, and they're good songs. I think musically they're really cool.
Fantastic.
Lyrically it's
Lacking
about,
a little vibrato.
lacking a lot of vibrato. But like there's some really cool chord progressions.
Yes, I love the movement on this.
That's
And then
my jazz influence.
And then
at
what
the
do you
time.
do going into the bridge? Because that kind of separates itself from the song really well too.
Yes. So I don't remember what I did going in the bridge. I could do the pre-chorus.
Sure, do the
Because that
pre-chorus.
da, da, da. So changing from A minor and going da, 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 da. I mean, that's, it's so funny because I don't really write like that anymore. But it's interesting
present
to,
though. I think your awareness of when and where to put that, I think, is essential because it is in your background.
yeah. But it's just so interesting to look back on my thought process, and it's like, wow, interesting approach, young Johnny.
Yeah.
But,
And your voice was so good. I know I was your number one cheerleader all along with your singing. I feel like
You
I
really
was
was.
anyway. I just absolutely always loved it because you were backing me up for years, and it was always like, man, he's got such a lead tone. And when you sing your own stuff, because you would demo things,
Mhm.
and then I would sing the song that you would demo for me to sing, and just be like, kind of like Johnny's version. Like have to like really fight. Like it kind of gave a very, I don't want to use the word competitive, but it pushed me up the hill. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I need to get better at what I do because if who I'm working with
Right.
is has skills that I don't have. So I think it's been a very, very beneficial relationship in that way in all the different projects that we did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank
you.
And by the way, thank you Betty, I'm glad you enjoyed. The song's called When Angels Cry, which was then re-released in another album with a different era and acoustic, and then was retitled. More about that in the future. And oh, you're doing the sign language too. Awesome. That's cool, Maria.
Mhm.
Johnny, some coffees, and I have a super
Yeah.
chat from Raquel. I'm glad you shared a little bit of your life. Your friendship is an inspiration. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for the support. Thank you for not leaving after that first video.
That was, oh my God, more of those, please. Let's see. Okay, yes. Wait a minute, is this up to date? Now it is. Okay. Okay, Maria bought 3 coffees. This chapter's opening. Gotta have coffee. J&R, you're great. Thank you so much, Maria. Lotsy Lover bought 10 coffees. Here's to vision, courage,
both.
friendship, music, and this new series. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very, very much for all of the coffees. Greatly
Yeah.
appreciated as always.
Yeah. Enjoy Robinson bought 3 coffees. This new series deserves coffee. It's off to a great start. I can't wait for more love. You guys to the moon and back. We love you too, Joy.
Thank you.
And then Shelby bought
Wow.
3 coffees. Thank you so much. She says, I think this will be a favorite series for us. We love hearing your story.
Wow.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. We honestly weren't sure if we should do it. And I don't know. Have you seen Robbie in the chat? I don't think I've seen him. He might have had to work. He's instrumental in really pushing us to do something like this. So I want to shout out to him, one of our Diamond members as well.
Yes.
Okay. Guys, there is so much material at this point. This band's name is Scattered Ink. I did a full-length album under Tier, then the EP, and then you heard the single already from the Tears EP.
It's a good song.
Then I rebranded under my own name, Richard IV, just dropping the Fink, and I did an EP there, and then a full-length. There was like an EP theatrical thing, and then a full-length acoustic singer-songwriter style, and then a full-length.
And that's where I came into the picture.
Right after the release of the Princess CD, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we did our Princess tour. More about that in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did a Whisper Sin album, which is progressive, like super progressive, crazy themed vampire insanity rock, which we're skipping over today.
Again,
so much.
It's just a lot of stuff was not necessarily my thing, but I appreciated the vision and the passion, and and within there, I mean, you have some great songs, which I think we'll stumble upon here.
We're going to explore some great songs and some complete train wrecks, and that's going to be the fun of the show, because why not?
Yeah,
I feel like we ripped the Band-Aid off. I got the worst case scenario out of the way.
I know.
I can breathe. There's going to be a lot more to come that's just as funny, but still. So this is kind of rebranded again. This is a band called Scattered Ink. Now, this was a trio. So this is Johnny, Maddie, and myself. And this is the first time since the Richard IV stuff that it was truly a collaboration of songwriting. So in this case, this whole, I think the exception of 2 songs, Johnny wrote all of the melodies. There's Merlot and I think one other one, Scorn or something like that. Where
KP to
Oh,
Q8.
yeah, KP to Q8. Yeah, well, you still wrote the melody. So I did all of the lyrics, and then Johnny did the melody, and the music was a combination for the most part between Johnny and Maddie, and then I would some songs was here and there.
Mm-hmm.
This song I didn't write any of the music. I didn't write any of the melody. It was just the task of writing the lyric. This was our single off the record. This did really well. We ended up only doing 1 show. It was sold out show. It was great. And then we pivoted in life because that happens. With all sorts of other opportunities that were presenting themselves to us as songwriters. So this is kind of like I don't want to say the peak of my singing, but this was the last project. Oh no, I did a whole album after this with another progressive metal band. Oh, there's so much more, Johnny. Anyway,
you were definitely hitting your stride at this point, though.
Yeah. So very different than what you heard at first. The song is called "Corners of the Room." A quick reference to what the lyrics are, because we can actually talk about. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you, Partial. Do you remember what the lyrics were about? What was your inspiration?
Yeah, so
I forgot to ask you about that.
they're a little cryptic, and that's part of the
Style.
the youth that I'm hearing, and that's kind of what I was listening to as well. Like a lot of the '90s stuff that we loved, the lyrics didn't make any sense, but it kind of gave a very, it just gave an impression, you know.
There it is. Yeah, it's an impressionist lyrics.
So yeah, that was about a friend of mine, and it's like probably we've all had out there that is struggling and just wanting them to help themselves ultimately to get out of the hole they're in, and then you're sort of in that scenario, you're sort of just resigned to watch it happen, so it's a story
like
about
you're paralyzed almost, like viewing what's taking place.
you're just powerless. Yeah, it's just that feeling of powerlessness with somebody you really care about that you see going down this avenue, whatever it is. And you just wish they'd help themselves.
Really, really well crafted. Love that song.
Actually, and funny thing about that song too, real quick thing. So that was actually another song originally, if you remember correctly. So I had a 4-song EP. This was the last one that we worked on. So we had all the songs recorded, the drums and everything to them, and it was the drums to that song were actually the recorded drums to a different song. So it was like and that song was like a Ben Foldsy kind of piano-y thing, which that's another thing, just finding my sound. I was always just so all over the map. So, but anyway, so that was a different song, and I'm listening back, and I'm just like, this isn't giving me that feeling, So, so I took the drum track and I wrote a brand. Oh,
your face. You know what's not improving on this show?
Oh gosh, yeah, jeez. So yeah, just the raw drum track, and I wrote that song to the drum track.
It was just amazing that we pulled that
That's not
off.
done anymore. Yeah. So
yeah.
But that just was kind of a good example of following your instincts too, because I think I made the right choice by switching that song up.
And it ended up being the song of that record, and just that time for us too. So, So anyway, so that was 2003. So now we're in 2004, as we were already writing this trio here, and the song's called "Corners of the Room." This song it's a lot of religious themed, but where the song came from the lyrics is I was dating someone at the time, and we went to this nightclub. I'm not a nightclub guy. If you guys have seen this, at no point in my life, I mean, I tried. I like the vampire look. It was cool. I had the hair and everything else. Totally into the Bram Stoker's Dracula and all that stuff themed wise. Totally into all that whole scene. Except I don't like being out late at night. I don't like loud places or crowded places. I just wasn't built for that. So we went to places in Rochester, New York, because my girlfriend at the time had frequented there. So we went there, and it was just a terrible experience. But it gave me the idea for the lyrics. So Johnny had already laid out all of the melody, so he'll dummy a track. Like, can you give an example of what you would give me for like a verse for the song we're about to hear, maybe?
Yeah, so Maddie laid down the guitar.
Right.
And then I took that track and just wrote the melodies. And so a lot of the times, like,
which is the melody you're about to hear. Yeah.
Total gibberish, but I'm sort of implying a lot of things, a lot of phrasing, a lot of the vowel sounds, some of the. So, and obviously changed a lot.
Right, but I would get so married to his melody because I thought they were genius. I would not change them. Like,
I actually wanted you to change them more, probably. I was like,
no,
you can go away from this a little bit.
This is how many syllables go in this phrase. It is not negotiable. So it was a puzzle for me to come up with the lyrics. So it took me a long time, but I'm really happy with the result. And so anyway, I was in the scene. It was a nightclub, and I saw just people just lost, right? There's like people in, one corner of the room that was, doing cocaine. And then there's people just drinking at the bar, just throwing tons of money. There's people in the dance floor that they were obviously dancing to show off. You know what I mean? It was just attention getting, and it was just a negative environment. I just felt sick about it, right? So the lyrics that refer to, your church, your temple, that you can hear in the chorus has to do with the idea that individuals were spending their time, their money, their faith into, very negative and what's the word I want to use here? Just self-harming, detrimental,
Sort of a toxic environment. Yeah.
toxic. Thank you. Yeah, just simple.
Yeah.
It's just really toxic things that they were putting their energy into. So that's what the song ended up being about. So this is me so you heard 1995. This is 2004. So a 9 years difference, and it was work. You can hear a little Johnny in this one, but more backup vocals. That'll be in another album.
Your sins, drink with your Savior. A sip
No
or
vibrato.
two will put you under him. When he's through, don't forget my love. To tip the man that's killing you. Your judges is roving. Trust betrays faith when up truth misplaced. Sideboard in your temple. Bestowed at you. Watching you wait in fields. Live what they dare in the corners of the room. Upon her, the crowd is your secret. Will a twist of sex is for attention too? When she's through with you, forget sweet innocent to kiss the one that's begging you. Your judges is roving. Trust betrays faith when up truth misplaced. Sideboard in your temple. Bestowed at you. Watching you sway in fields. Your skin is theirs in the corners of the room. Leaving you leafless. Keeping you low enough to fit to feel is one of them. Somewhere close, the warmth you have been seeking, the silence you've been dreaming of, and
This is
it
true.
feels so good. I'm jaded by the blood stains seeping out from your face. Wake, your head is on the floor, body can't take much more. You better crawl away to save what may just never be. Serenity, colored liquids turn insipid just before your will is paralyzed. Trust betrays faith when up truth misplaced. Sideboard in your temple. Bestowed at you. Watching you die in fumes. Gasping for air in the corners of the
Nice.
All right. That
I mean,
one I
the-
can listen to again.
Yeah. The vocals on that, I mean, that the power, the range, the scream, I always been so envious of that because I will never be able to do that. Well, I shouldn't say never. but I probably most
We cut
likely
you
won't
off
ever
there.
do that. Yes.
Definitely have to
No.
something to explore. But the influences changed, right? So when you heard the first one, it was musical theater and Meatloaf, things like that. The really heavy vibrato. And then over time, I'm listening to Cornell, Chris Cornell, James Maynard Keenan, a big influence on this one.
Tool.
Evanescence has
Yep.
just come out, and just like it's all those kind of like that era that I was listening to a lot more. So that was a big part of that. And I spent 10 years trying to get that scream. That was the Ted Neely range scream, obviously more aggressive than Ted's, but that was yeah, that was fun to track.
Yeah. That was fun to write and record because it was such a, like you said, such a collaborative thing. It was, the music was done mainly by Maddie, and then I would do the melodies, and then you took your 2 or 3 week lyrical sabbatical, as they
It
called it,
would
and
disappear.
he would disappear. But it was so cool because you'd come up with such great concepts, and there's such a poetry to the words too, very very visual. Yeah, that was a good time, and I was always very hopeful for that album because I thought it was really good. Listening back, obviously, with anything that we've done, and this is definitely a me thing. Like I always want to, I hear things that are wrong with it, and I want to.
I know, me too. I'm like, oh, we should have tracked it this way. By the way, the drummer. I just want to say shout out to Pete Rue. He wasn't like a formal member of the band, but he did all the studio work and played with us live. He was just an awesome drummer.
Yeah, but one production thing that we learned later on, and this is part of the the learning curve and the process is actually doubling the instrument. So we just had a single guitar track, and Maddie's an amazing guitar player, like world class guitar player. But we should have tracked
Chris
the guitar.
Hooker was ready to kill me. So he told me, he says, "Oh,
Did he say that?
No, Chris told me, he says, make sure that you double the guitar track. So I put 2 microphones on the amp.
Oh,
That's how we
no.
recorded. There, you have them doubled. He's like, no. This is, what am I supposed to do with this?
So what doubling does, it creates a more of a stereo spectrum. It gives you more imaging, makes the track wider. It also just thickens up everything.
Right.
And because it's 2 separate tracks that aren't the same, it creates a bigness because they're the frequencies are not just stepping on each other. It's just creating a more space and everything, and it's like you live, you learn.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a great project. Fun. All right, so moving on in our Creators Corner here. So part of the format idea was to include obviously some things we're doing now as well. So we're going to listen to a song that Johnny co-wrote that someone else is singing, and I want to share with you one of my students. So this is the idea. So when we come back to Creators Corner, we'll show some old stuff, and we'll show you, what's happening now in our world. So I'm going to play for you a song I haven't heard yet. So this is going to be a bit of a reaction. This singer's name is Liz Longley. She is a wonderful, wonderful person. I got to work with her first. I want to say it was.
Can you give me 1 second? I got to attend to something. 1 second.
Oh, good. So the singer's name's Liz, and she reached out to me because she was. And I'm sharing the story only because she actually made this story public, helping promote our 7 Dimensions of Singing vocal gym course. So she was kind enough to do that, and she uses that course, which is awesome. She reached out because she lost her voice and she needed it back, and someone recommended me, so we got to know each other that way and helped her with her voice. And I just fell in love with her tone and her musicality. She's an incredible songstress, and she runs her own label. And in fact, she's got a great story. You can go check it out. The link will be in the description, where she was on a label. They shelved it because that happens sometimes for a variety of reasons. It could be whoever's in charge. It could be a money thing. It could be, timing, whatever. And she actually bought back the rights. Her fans jumped in and, built up enough money. It was, I don't know how many tens of thousands of dollars it was, bought back the rights to her own album to release it on her own. And it was a huge success through Kickstarter. So this is her latest album. The song's called Start Again, and it's off an album called something else. It's not the name of it. That's the name of Johnny's band. Oh my goodness. This is on, oh, I think it's the title track. That's why. So I think it's the name of it as well. Johnny, I don't know if you're familiar with her tone. I think you're gonna
I
love her.
feel like I've heard it.
Yeah.
I think you showed me things. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Before we do, thank a couple
Yes,
coffee buyers.
Please.
Chris bought a coffee. She said, "This is awesome and funny." Thanks, guys. Thank you, Chris.
You're very welcome.
And
Thank you.
Major Pain slash Carol bought us 3 coffees. Love you guys and all of your video reactions, but you guys have gone over the top with your own music. Great job. I love it. Johnny, keep looking sexy. You got it.
And there's nothing more over the top than the 19-year-old Richard. And you'll see more of him in the future.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the support, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, she's on your web for the YouTube.
Yeah. This is a brand new song.
When autumn came, I felt you drifting like the leaves lifting away. And as it grew colder, well, so
Cool.
did we.
So, what is that? Samba? What is the feeling? It's like rhythmically.
Remember what we used to be.
Yeah, samba-ish. Yeah.
Start it over, we can talk it over, darling, we can make the clock turn back. I don't wanna live a life without the kind of magic that we used to have. I am still the one who gives you everything you want. Please don't say we're done, let's start again.
Bossa Nova. I think that's a better.
From the beginning, summer flew by
Love her tone.
on the front
Yeah.
porch, kissing the sun coming up in your eyes. And if you told me then that we could lose the love we found, then baby I'd still have you now.
Great dynamics.
Start it over, we can talk it over, darling, we can make.
It's interesting. The song doesn't have a lot of highs and lows in terms of
No.
chordal movement or melody, but it just pulls you forward. I really like the way it's crafted.
Yeah.
And the phrasing, 100%.
Yeah, really, really great vibe. It's got, you know, a Latin-y sound, bossa nova.
Which he has a,
But just
I've heard
like haunting too. Like
Yes,
a hauntingness
yes.
with that. Yeah, that's
it works
really sweet.
really well with the lyric and her tone. There's such a gentleness. Even when, you know, her transitions chest voice to head voice, she carries the exact same feeling tone between the two registers in a way that just keeps me anyway, speaking for myself, just very entranced. Like like any song she does, like I'm always with her from start to end. And I just love that about her delivery.
Yeah, I could totally hear this in a movie or awesome TV
yeah,
show.
yeah, yeah.
Clock turn back. I don't wanna live a life without the kind of magic that we used to have. I am still the one who gives you everything you want. Please don't say we're done, let's start again.
Yeah, I love that tone.
Ugh. It's like it's fuzzy.
Yeah, way overdriven guitar. Love it though.
Start it over, we can talk it over, darling, we can make the clock turn back. I don't wanna live a life without the kind of magic that we used to have. I am still
choice.
Let's start
Oh, chills.
That's
Well
great.
done, Liz. And she is so. I think she's so intelligent. I mean, she's a very smart person, but intelligent with her songwriting. Like, she knows her strengths. And she actually won the John Lennon songwriting contest back when she was in.
Did she?
I think she was in.
Wow.
Berkeley, yeah. So it's like she just
surprised.
knows her strengths as a vocalist and as a songwriter, and leans into them in such a way that always feels complete. And
Mhm.
I just think she's so. That's such a thing in and of itself, which is, you were just talking about this, when you write songs for you, that's one of the hardest things, because you've got all these different influences. Like, who are you in the end? Like,
Yeah.
Liz, like, I feel like she's mastered that about herself.
Yeah.
And it's
It's
a
always
hard
been
thing
tough
to
for
do.
me. It's always been tough for me. It's, so yeah, people that have that, I think I'm always definitely appreciative of that. Yeah, and just like that natural kind of throwback sound, which I love. You could hear that in the '60s, like Dusty
Yes.
Springfield or something singing that.
And I wanted to
that's
add
great.
I wanted to add one more thing. 2 years ago, because I'd worked with her back in, it might have been 2019 or 2018. It was in that span. I finally got to meet her in person. She performing in Clearwater, Florida. So Aurora and I went out and got to see her in concert. So here's Liz, and we had front row center seats and put on a great show. And Aurora just
Nice.
adores her. She listens to her music as well. So
That last.
I didn't see it coming, but it was
Yeah,
so satisfying.
yeah, that raised sixth tone. Beautiful, great writing.
All right, next up, Daughtry. Johnny, talk to me.
Okay, so this is called Heavy as the Crown. It was released in 2020. I think I started it. So actually, interesting. So I started it probably a couple of years earlier than I ended up really working on it with Daughtry's keyboard player, Elvio. So he's
Right.
from my town, so we've known each other for a while. We co-write in a lot of stuff, a lot of Daughtry stuff. What were we going to say?
No, I was gonna say Elvio stopped in on one of our shows once. It was with
That's right,
John
that's
Reeves. Yeah, just did a cameo kind of thing. So some of you might have seen him.
Yeah, so this was released in 2020. This was one of my, I think I would say this is my first big song that had, a global release.
Right. That
and
top
like
the Billboard
first
charts
radio,
there.
definitely first radio single. So it was on the rock radio charts. It's been heard by millions of people. So it's done a lot of cool things for me.
Yeah.
And I can talk about more of the process of writing it as we get going. But yeah, this is.
I just want to point out there was, the process of songwriting in and of itself, I want to talk about it in a minute, is interesting because, it starts from somewhere. In this case, I remember I was standing in the patio of my dad's place, and I remember you playing the idea for the song over the phone.
Yeah.
I don't remember what time of year was it. It wasn't
It was a hook,
So-
yeah. And
it was just the hook. So it was before it was the co-write actually took place with Daughtry and Elvio. It was just kind of like its initial thing. And I remember you showing me, it's very rare. I mean, you write great ideas all the time, but you called me up to share this one with me. I remember that. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
It was like the hook just stood out.
Yeah,
So
that was one. So I was working with,
please, go ahead.
I was working with a sort of a beginner, beginner songwriter. So we were working
Yeah.
on some songs, and we got a couple songs in, and like I remember trying to think of an idea for her, and I came up with this hook, and then I like played it back. I'm like, that's really good. that's really good. It might be
might not be for this person, right? So
might not be for this person. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of selfishly saved it for myself.
It happens.
So and all it really was the title and the little hook.
But it was
the
enough
heavy
to
is
like.
the crown, heavy is the crown. And then, at that point, it was like I was thinking of sort of taking in like a Billie Eilish thing, but I didn't know where it was going. But I'm like, I know there's something here, so I kept it in my pocket, and then I can tell you when I
And for the
brought it
record,
back
the
out of the
song you
pocket.
did end up doing with her was fantastic. So there
Yes,
was...
it was. It was.
All right, so here we go. If you haven't seen it, this is
Yeah.
Daughtry's official music video. Heavy is the Crown.
Never needed any reason to find deliverance. Like a cancer running through my veins. Oh, it's never gonna give in.
Might be a great day.
See 'em march like lambs to the slaughter. Toy soldiers line up on the altar. I was never meant to drink that water. They'll remember me when I'm underground. Heavy is the crowd. Never pause, never let 'em bleed you out. I'll be still standing when they try to bring my castle down. I'll never bow down. Heavy is the crown. Heavy is the crown. Heavy is the crown. Oh, heavy is the crown. With the weight of the world crashing, pushing you closer to the edge. You find a way to get a little bit stronger to fight off the demons.
His voice is ridiculous, man.
It's so good. It's so good.
See 'em march like lambs to the slaughter. Toy soldiers line up on the altar. I'll rise, hell or high water, and you'll remember me when I'm underground. Heavy is the crowd. Never pause, never let 'em bleed you out. I'll be still standing when they try to bring my castle down. I'll never bow down. Heavy is the crown. Everything will fade away. Nothing in this world is meant to stay. Heavy is the crown. Heavy is the crown.
Silvio,
So, yeah.
not looking well.
Heavy is the crown. Heavy is the crown. Never pause, never let 'em bleed you out. I'll be still standing when they try to bring my castle down. I'll never bow down. Heavy is the crown. Heavy is the crown.
Oh,
Heavy is the crown.
Yeah.
man.
I like that one. I do. that's,
Yeah.
that's one of the ones where I'm like, that's good. I don't have to change anything in that one.
We're good.
That's
Yeah, that's a keeper.
Yeah.
Malu's saying, yeah, it is a. This is like a movie. I mean, a lot of what his music videos are really well, just super cinematic. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool to see. I can imagine in an artist. We've had this conversation, Johnny, with other artists too. There is that the relatability of the lyric topic that you came up with here is the so many people depending on you, right? It's just like that. It's
Yeah.
a burden as an artist because it's not just, oh, your band. It's, it's the people that travel with you. It's it's the managers, it's the booking agents, the people that, do merchandise. It's setting up. It's just like it ends up trickling down to hundreds of people are affected by if you're sick or you
Yeah.
don't do good on the next
Right.
release, or this doesn't reach a certain expectation of a fan base response. And I imagine when he's saying this, I didn't interview him, but I would imagine based on the music video, but seeing his bandmates trapped, it's like that feeling of like, I have to persevere no matter what happens with them or with me. Life moves on. He's been through terrible
Yeah.
tragedy too with
And
his
it's
stepdaughter.
always interesting. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been through a lot.
Yeah.
And obviously you'd have to ask him, and he's given his like his feelings of what the song means to him, and that's the cool thing about when you are in a collab setting, especially when you kind of like hand it off. It's like he's gonna see things. He'll ask for the initial, like, what's the song about, and then he'll kind of take it in his own thing.
Mhm.
So for me, I remember the origins of. So like I said, I had that hook in my pocket. I'm like, I know I'm going to use this at some point, but I don't know when. And it was right around when Kobe Bryant died, actually. And I was thinking it might be interesting to write a tribute for him, or that type of mentality.
Interesting.
Sort of like I was actually kind of thinking like sports related songs, because that's, it's the good placement. It's like it
Right.
makes sense. Business.
Well,
and, I was
and you love basketball, and yeah,
and I
football
love basketball,
and all
and I always just, I was always a big Michael Jordan fan, and that mentality of like the amount of work and dedication that it takes to get to that level is just next level. So I was like, okay, well, that works with Heavy as a Crown, because that's sort of the burden in that context, the burden of getting to the top and then staying on top. It's
continuous
just,
success.
You have to have such an edge. And then as I started, got into it a little bit more in my head, and then Elvie was part of that too. So Elvie is just a super talented guy, amazing writer. And we were just kind of like fleshing it out. And then as we were going, it became more, at least in my head, still the Kobe Bryant thing, and, Michael Jordan, the sports thing, but also just this courage to like be yourself. And I was kind of using more like my spiritual path, and people that I looked up to, the sages of the past, the Buddhas, the Jesuses, the people that really took a stand, and they had to be courageous and find their own way, despite everybody, all the naysayers, and a lot of people not understanding what they were going for. And just, there's just a lot you have to overcome to like find your own path and your own truth, and that can be spiritual, that can be also Martin Luther King, it could be on this, anybody that's been courageous enough to stand up for what's right. And there's a lot of like religious sort of terminology in there. It's not necessarily religious, but it's just it conjures such a, it does, never needed any reason to find deliverance. It's like, I just loved how that sounded. That was one of those lyrics.
Such a great flow.
Yes, it just like it nails it. I'm like, yes, when a word can encapsulate so many things in such a short phrase, that's what you want to go for as writer.
And to backing up Ruth's point too, that Daughtry's voice with those lyrics and the context of that is just,
talk about a dream come true. Like
you can't.
For a writer,
his voice is so distinct and so amazing. I remember when he was on the show The Mask, I had it on the background TV or whatever, and my wife had come home, and this is before it was revealed. He was like the bulldog or something like that, I think it was.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And she walked in the house and she looked at the TV and goes, "Oh, I didn't know Daughtry was on The Mask." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's who that is." Just immediately.
To me, I can hear it from 100 miles away. And again, I've talked about a songwriter's dream of like, you write this piece of music and you have a world-class voice on it. His voice is undeniably amazing, and it's identifiable. And to hear him sing something that, was originally in my brain, this little seed of a thing in my brain was like, that is cool.
Yeah.
You know, you just think of that origin moment where the idea comes up and where it ends up. It's like, that's a pretty cool and addicting thing. You want more of that because it's so awesome. And then also, you know, again, shout out to Elvio.
Yeah.
Who, you know, he's got just a great musical mind, a great mind to be like, okay, he looks at the whole thing and
He's a big picture guy.
He's a big picture guy,
Yes.
yeah. And like the
And
way
you need
that he would take something that I would bring in and be like, oh, let's you know, morph that in this way. And some of his lines were just genius too, like melody lines. So I don't know, the whole thing. And then Chris and his team took over and did their thing.
Did
And
the production,
just-
yeah. And just also
and the writing too. So they also added to the writing. So we
Right.
basically gave them, you know, first part of it, and then they finished it off. But
and since then, so you guys know, he also Johnny also co-wrote with Daughtry and the team Dam, Abyss, Asylum.
Asylum,
Yeah,
yeah,
Asylum.
yeah.
Like, wait, I didn't say that right. And most recently, what's the name of the?
so the newest single that's out is called "The Bottom," and that's their newest single on the radio. So check that out.
Yeah, definitely go check that out.
So go right on
And
that.
in the links below, there are links to Daughtry's social medias and also Liz Longley. Be sure to check them out, follow them, and enjoy the music. Johnny, this was so much fun.
It was fun.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad. I'm not going to rewatch the beginning of this. For those of you who are joining us now, have at it. I'm never going back.
Love it.
but I do
That's all
look
I'm going to
forward.
watch.
I do look forward to the next Creators Corner. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Looking forward to doing it again. Thank you for the coffees and our Throga members, of course,
You guys
making
are awesome.
our new podcast possible. And we've got more coming. Tomorrow we're doing a new podcast called Finals Verdict. And then at the end of the month, on Thursdays, we're going to add, it's called Extended Play.
Vinyl
we-
verdict, right?
Vinyl Verdict. What did I say?
Yeah, vinyl's verdict.
Verdicts of vinyls. Anyway,
Just
there's
one
lots
vinyl.
more coming. So we hope you enjoy. Have an amazing day, guys. There. Bye.
Thank you guys.
Stay